Welcome to Rural Unrecognized, a podcast for people who want the inside scoop and behind-the-scenes experiences of business owners in and around the Flagstaff County region in Alberta. These entrepreneurs openly share their stories, challenges, and ambitions that contribute to building the legacy of the Flagstaff region. Brought to you by Flagstaff County, a community of communities in Southeast Alberta, the stories featured on this podcast are the perfect accompaniment for your drive to work, while you're waiting for hockey practice to start, or for those early mornings during harvest. Each episode is designed to spark your curiosity, teach you something about the people in your community, and take pride in the richness within the region. Welcome to Rural Unrecognized. I'm Amanda Wagner, a speaker and business strategist, and I am delighted to host this podcast. Each month, we will be joined by a guest who will graciously share their experience and consider what Rural Unrecognized means to them. Welcome to Rural Unrecognized. Today, we're joined by Kristy Jackson, Jill Price, and Lynette Hayes, the brilliant trio behind Salted, the house of delectable caramels that encourage you to indulge in life's little moments and sweet luxuries. I am so happy to have you three in front of me today. What a gift. You're the first trio. So I anticipate that there's going to be some excited chatter, and I'm going to do my best to play it cool and let all of you respond. But please know how just energetic I am and enthusiastic about this conversation. So as a trio, can you help us figure out how each of you fit into the business?
I'm Jill. I am the head baker. I've always been loving to be in my kitchen and making sweet treats, and that was just kind of my department. I worked with some recipes, a whole lot of trial and error. A lot of people in my family got sick of caramel after testing all the different batches, but yeah, came up with a recipe that is still in our caramels today.
I'm Kristy. I sort of dabble in all things finance and the books and the Excel spreadsheets and pricing and all of that fun stuff for me.
And I'm Lynette Hayes, and I take the lead on social media and some of the marketing and packaging.
Aesthetic.
I always find it interesting when there are multiple owners or founders who all kind of find their niche. They find what they're really skilled at and then bring it all together. I'm going to ask, I want to know a little bit about your origin story, but first, the question that everybody wants to ask, but everyone is too scared to. What kind of conflict has that created? Have there been any moments of, no, I want to be the head baker, or no, let me run the spreadsheet? Or is that something that you have established your roles and kind of stay in your own lanes?
We haven't had any major conflict. We actually were thinking about this not long ago, and we just sort of have a very natural, open communication. So we talk about everything, whether it's how to price something. Maybe I'll take the lead on having an idea and our margins, but then we all sit down and talk about it. Yeah. And the same goes for packaging.
Yeah, for sure. We all bounce things off of each other. If someone has an idea and someone's I don't know, maybe that won't work, or vice versa. You have to communicate.
Yeah,
you have to speak it and work it out. But I wouldn't say there's any conflict or.
I'd say most of our days that were spent in production, we're all three of us are there. So it's this ongoing staff meeting all the time. While you're cooking, while you're wrapping, there's never moments where it's silent. It's always, talking about between other families, work, everything else. There's nothing ever left.
Yeah. And I feel right now too, just because we're still growing and we're at the smaller stage, we all have our own lane and we're sticking in it right now because we can't, until we have processes and procedures in place and we can pass it off to others, we have to figure that out. And then, so like you said, staying in our own lane is, what's working right now.
And it's so efficient.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
This idea of the ongoing staff meeting really sticks out to me. I think that's a really neat idea. You also don't have to wait some of the perks of being a small business is that you don't have to wait until the staff meeting next month to bring something up or take something to email. You have that connectedness within your team so that nothing becomes a conflict either, because you're naturally just having those conversations all the time. One thing that I imagine is that part of the reason things work so well, yes, staying in your own lane, constant communication, but you're also united in a goal. So before we talk about your goal, Kristy, can you tell me a little bit about the origin story of Salted and dig into your why?
Yeah, so we have been in business for 3.5 years, and the world was a lot different in 2021 when we launched. And so it kind of started as like a passion project, like a creative outlet where, you know, we all had some different skill sets and we just wanted to launch a product. We wanted to make something that we were proud of and that was beautiful, and we found that in caramel. Mm-hmm. And so we had one single product we worked really hard on for like 9-10 months and launched it in November. It sold out. We all had jobs at the time, other jobs. And so it truly was like a side hustle at the time. And it has grown consistently from there. But our why has always been to make something beautiful, indulgent in the caramel, and spread joy and like bring connection to people through this caramel. Yeah. So we're still doing that today, 3.5 years later. But it really started out in the trenches of COVID with this like creative outlet and a beautiful product.
Yeah. And just to follow our entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes.
Just to keep going.
So given that the world was different in 2021, what was your goal then? Was it simply a creative outlet to try on the side hustle versus what's your goal now? Can you paint that picture?
I feel like our goal was, we always thought it could be something bigger.
Absolutely.
But we were cautiously optimistic. You know, like we had other jobs. We thought, how cool would it be to have this product and like be across Canada, be in the world, like just really be known for that. But it was like a dip your toe in kind of thing. And then just kept going. Mm-hmm. But what would our goals be now?
Well, I think one of our big goals is being across Canada.
Yeah.
Like really pushing the envelope to just push our product, especially with the way the world is now. Mm-hmm. Everyone's looking for the Canadian option and just support local. And I think we're really prized right now in a position to just make that move. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've touched on something that I think a lot of business owners face. I know I'm in this category of a sort of tentative nature of, I'm going to try this, but I'm not going to go in with both feet. Let's see if it works, because having that safety is really important. Do any of you remember a specific moment where you said, I'm going in with both feet? Whether you left your job or were investing more time, money, effort into the business. Do any of you remember that moment?
You actually.
Yeah.
You had the biggest moment.
Yeah, it was about a year ago, almost exactly. And I quit my job. I texted you, Amanda, actually. I think
I was 100% leading the witness because I have that voice note saved.
I quit my job in May of last year, and it kind of happened all of a sudden. I met with you, Amanda, did some professional development, and I think my goal was the end of July. I think when we originally talked and I said, I think this could really be something. And I think before harvest, I am going to quit my job. And then 2 months later, I was texting you like, this happened right now. And you guys were so nice. You got me some flowers and we celebrated because it was very scary to leave benefits and, a certain amount of hours a week. And, but now I can't imagine not doing it. I can't imagine not doing it. So
I think for me last year was just our investments in the new packaging and investments in the automated wrapping machine. Like those are big plunges to take. Like you either stay small, stay what you're doing, stay comfortable and just fill that little market, or or jump in and see what happens.
Absolutely.
So I think 2024 was a big year for,
yes,
we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I substitute teach. So I just stopped. I kept saying, no, I couldn't work. And then pretty soon it came to the point of where I wasn't really missing that. And I was looking so forward to my days at Salted that for me, it was more gradual. Not quite as both feet at once.
But now you say no a lot.
I say no a lot.
Go girl. That is not easy to do. It is not easy to say no. What a great example, Lynette, of buying an automatic wrapping machine, because it's not an investment that the average person makes, or that you could say, you know what, I changed my mind on this business thing. Great, I have this automatic wrapping machine that is so transferable to other areas of my life. It's not like buying a sofa for your office that you could put in your home later. It's like, we are in.
We're not just going to throw it on Marketplace.
We're not. No, I don't know how many bites you'd get there, but you never know. Marketplace has things for everyone. Kristy, just because I love dates and legacy is so important to me, I pulled it up in my phone. July 31st, 2024. I have it in there. Kristy Jackson will be all in on Salted. And I have a note that says, maybe it's June 30th, but this gives us a buffer month.
Yes.
And you called me in May.
Yeah. Wild.
It's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild.
That's extraordinary.
2024 was a very transformative year.
Yeah,
like,
it was. Yeah.
With the investments, like Lynette said, in our production, and it made, like, we were able to make those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Lots of learning.
That's so incredible. And you know what, too, Kristy, you came to Business Fight Club, and that would have been after you were all in. And I remember you saying, I just need to get to this next part that's going to unlock the next level of our business.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I want to talk about unlocking the next piece of your business and get into kind of the nitty gritty business lingo, B2B versus B2C. So deciding, are you selling business to consumer, or some hybrid? Talk to us a little bit about your model.
We've been very fortunate in our professional development with the different courses we've taken to be able to really refine that. Because how that started out versus what it looks like even as of like Monday, is we've tweaked words, and it's been such a journey to get that to the point of where it is, that we're happy with it.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, to get to the nitty gritty, we were always focusing on the end user, the end customer, the customer buying the, like, online or at the boutiques, where we have two separate channels. We have the people buying at the boutiques, but we also have the wholesalers. So focusing a sales channel that is for the boutiques and the places that we want to get into now is a big focus. And it's just, changing the lingo, changing our value proposition, just changing things so that it accommodates to both. But we need to get into those boutiques to get to those end customers. So,
and just like the relationships with the boutique, like they know their customers so well. And I mean, they're so wonderful to work with us, the boutiques that we're in, but then trusting them to merchandise or how they're going to, like, knowing what the demand is and what their customers want. And so like Lynette said, changing the lingo to focus on that business owner as the customer. And it's been amazing. We're about 50% direct to consumer and 50% business to business.
Is that where we want to be? We do want to increase our direct to consumer online, just the margins are better. But then we want to increase boutiques because the exposure is better, right? So
I feel like it's working right now.
I think increase both, and just that's one thing with everything has progressed so organically that we just kind of let it happen, and it always seems to, like, flow well right now. So I think whatever takes off the most, we'll just see what happens.
Right. I think it's such an interesting perspective to say, things work out. We're going to follow the threads that work at this moment. We can always change our minds. I know you are everything is figure outable people. So I think it's a nice blend of some decisions you make are incredibly strategic, and some paths that you go down, it's like, this works. Let's try it. Let's invest a little more. And I think that having that blend is really powerful for growing your business.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The amount of times that we say, like, everything works out for us. Yeah. Or, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I think you just have to run with that, because if not, well, I'm an overthinker, but
Me too.
I feel
Absolutely.
like just saying that, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, you can shut that thought off and move on.
Yeah.
Because you can do what you can do.
But one of our sayings that we have up in our production facility is don't ask, don't get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Someone we know coined that term. Her name's Amanda. But
and she signed it for us.
That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah. Quite often when we're talking something through and we're like, well, should we? Well, don't ask, don't get.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
Because you've got some incredible things. Can you let us kind of behind the curtain? What are some of the things that you've asked for and got?
I guess when you touched on our automated wrapping machine, we were told by people that we wouldn't find it. We're too specific. It doesn't exist. And lo and behold, it is now, we own one.
Yes.
So we asked the big questions and we did the work, and
we asked lots of companies. We see you make this. Would you make? And we did get a lot of no's.
Yep.
But it just takes one yes and one company that knows your vision. Mm-hmm. So that has been amazing. I think reaching out to wholesalers.
Yeah.
Like, we have so many amazing, beautiful locations that our products are retailed in. Mm-hmm. And we've gone in and talked with them and brought samples, and you ask if they would like to carry your products, and some places work out and other places don't. But if we didn't ask, our numbers would be a lot smaller. But we really like making those connections. So now it's less scary to ask, Amanda.
That's the point. I promise that's the point. Because it's not as scary to ask. You're just asking a question. And the results often are so incredible and often surpass what we think they could be. And so I'm glad to hear that is a powerful part of how you operate your business. And I think it helps you get unstuck in some ways. Kristy, I'm going to go back. It only takes one yes. Yeah. And that to me is the stamina piece going, I'll take 9 no's to get my yes. So let me go find my no's as fast as possible so that I can get to my yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Hearing the no gets easier too, is like the more you hear it, you're like, okay. My one daughter said to me, what did she say? Rejection is just redirection. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that's true. Like, this no didn't work out, so now let's try over here.
Love that. And it doesn't feel as personal anymore. It just tells you we're going to try a different thing. That creates so much momentum in your business. I'm curious to know, speaking about momentum, we are in a stage where people are price sensitive. The world is very expensive. Salted is positioned within the luxury market. Very intentionally. This is not an accident. Tell me a little bit more about how you made that decision and how you make it clear through your branding and marketing where you fit.
I'd say initially when we came up with the idea to do salted caramels, the caramels already on the market were in clear plastic bags, twist wrapped. Like, they had that market somewhat, I'd say, saturated. So then one of our original business partners, Carrie, she was really interested in exploring the luxury market, like coming up with a gift wrapped one and like better packaging. And she really forced us out of our comfort zone with charging what we now know is what our caramel is worth. From the very beginning.
And creating an experience. Yes. Because it was always more than a caramel. And so the aesthetic, the experience, there's a value to that, and being handmade to your time.
Yes.
And so I remember pricing our first product and, can we, can't we? And Carrie was so good about like pushing us.
Yes,
like, this is a luxury item, and they sold out. And so, she was onto something. She knew.
Don't ask, don't get.
Don't ask, don't get. Exactly. Yes.
Since being in the luxury market, what are things that you have learned about playing in this space?
There's an aesthetic people expect, I guess, and just like when it comes to our packaging, like right from the very time you pick that product up off the shelf, the experience has to start there.
Yes.
Even when you see it on the shelf.
Yes.
Like we want you to look at it and be drawn to it as something that's not necessarily it's not at a grocery store. Mm-hmm. And then when you pick it up and you feel the matte packaging, and then even as you open it, it opens like a gift, not just a quick little twist thing that you just pop in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. And even the size of it is bigger for a longer experience when you're eating it. And we've learned a lot. I'm focusing on packaging right now, but when we've gone to boutiques and seen other products and how they're merchandised, and
we're gift givers.
Yeah.
So like we really come back to like, what would we want to get? What sticks out? Like if we're putting together a gift or a gift basket, what would we reach for?
Yeah.
So kind of just, it comes back to our own personal tastes and what we consider lux.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know, Amanda, you had said this to Carrie at one point, but she had said, don't be afraid to be the most expensive option in the room. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, okay, like, well, why are we afraid to be that?
Yeah.
When we put in the time, we put in the effort, it is worth that.
I remember once sharing with my past business, but sharing a quote with Carrie that said, how would you present yourself differently if you were the most expensive on the market? So it's just like taking that mindset and run with it.
Yeah.
What you would do with it.
How would I behave if this were to be true? I think that the price conversation, as all three of you know, is one that I've had with many business owners, and people all get to take a different approach. For me, I'm similar in like, I don't want to be known as the least expensive option. I want to be known in a space where people go, it's not inexpensive. And that doesn't matter because it's so worth it. It exceeds my expectations. So I think having permission to be the most expensive option and to stand by it and accept that there may be a boutique that says, no, thanks, this isn't going to work for our customer. Great news. We got to know. Let's go find our other customers.
Yes.
I don't think we like go into the business model like, let's be the most expensive. Let's charge the most. We're charging what needs to be charged
to make it
a viable business, and to have the little extra details in the packaging, and to have the things like we're just doing what needs to be done to keep a business afloat.
Yeah.
And Kristy's spreadsheets. She's so good at them, but she's got it down to the penny. Like, this is what it costs to make this product without like missing, like the hours put in for this or the packaging or the shipping or any of that. Like, she has it down to the penny, and it is such a cool thing to see.
Something that even like reflecting on learning from other businesses or just learning being in business is there's so much behind the scenes that like outside of just producing the caramel, whether it's like unloading inventory, the time to package individual orders, write the note to the customer. Like there's just a lot more than people probably know to get that caramel on the shelf.
Yes.
And so to not resent your time, you need to price it so that you're not doing it as a hobby, you are doing it as a business.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a line in a Tragically Hip song. Gord Downey says, when something's too cheap, someone's paying something. And I think a lot about that line for business owners who are just getting started and who say, I'll pay myself later. I'll figure that part out later. And that is where the resentment can often bubble up, because you're putting in all this work, but you aren't getting any of the reward from it. So I think that that's worth reminding ourselves. When something's too cheap, someone's paying something.
Yes.
And so often we're paying that in time and in our resentment, and that doesn't make a sustainable business. I think it makes a grouchy entrepreneur.
Yes.
And we're all moms.
Yeah.
So anytime we're at work, we're away from our kids, we're away from our husbands. It's just like you want to make that effort like happily.
Yes.
Because it is time spent away from people that you love. But there hasn't been a day I haven't loved going to Salted because we've made these decisions along the way.
Yeah, I feel that so intensely, that everything we do is a decision. And I use the language, the juice has to be worth the squeeze. You're going to put in all this effort. It has to feel worth it. I want people to be able to sleep at night knowing that their effort is really helping them move in the direction that matters most to them. Now, you've mentioned professional development several times, and just how much you've learned and grown from it. Tell me a little bit about what professional development looks like for your team. I know you've done a variety of things.
Yeah, we were part of a accelerator program that we had a mentor help us. Weekly, we would meet with them through Zoom, and just kind of, that was our chance to ask them questions. That was our chance for them to say, have you did this? You should do this. Yeah, you don't have the forward thinking. What have you been doing with this? You should get a plan in place for that. So that was really good. It was over the course of a few months. And then we met, in every professional development thing that we do, we meet the most amazing other business owners, and the contacts and the networking we do from that, and the questions like, hey, who do you use for this? Or, hey, what have you did for this that's coming up? It's amazing.
It's amazing.
That was just one of the ones that we did.
We make sure to take a day, at least like once a year, and we rent an Airbnb, and we spend a weekend or 2 days working on our business, because even though we get staff meetings every week, you're interrupted by, the timer's on, you got to pour this, you got to wrap this, but we've made a conscious effort at least once a year to go and just be away for 2 nights, somewhere neutral. And we spend a day in our jammies, and we order in food, and we just work on the business.
Generally in January. So we can kind of talk about the year.
Reflect on last year, plan strategically for the next 12 months. And the amount we get done over 2 days is unreal. It's amazing. We recently just wrapped up a trade accelerator program, and went to Edmonton for that, learned about exporting. Not something we're doing like right away, but even though we're not planning to export right away, the learning that we can apply right now was amazing out of that. And then you're going to one next week that county's putting on.
Yeah, the Flagstaff Crafted's doing this with the social people. So about the marketing and branding and post and profit, I think. So that'll be so good to spend a day on it, spend a day there and get more ideas, and hopefully get a few things organized. That's kind of a thing right now too, is we are so busy in the business. So taking those days away to actually work on the other tasks besides just making caramels, it's few and far between. So it's nice to have a designated day next week to work with the social people in the Flagstaff County, and
To reiterate for any of our listeners who aren't familiar with the terms, to be working in the business is the nitty-gritty, day-to-day things that you have to do in order to sell your product or service. You really are wearing the hat of, what do I have to do right now? Working on the business, it gives you an opportunity to zoom out and look at the bigger picture of, what are the strategic decisions that we're making? What are our goals for the year, and how are we going to get towards them? Now, you mentioned something about the exporting conference that you went to, at professional development, and looking at exporting, knowing that it's not your goal right now, but starting to plant the seed of, what could that look like? And what are the decisions that we have to make now if we decide that's our route? I love the idea of doing something before it's the right time. I had a professor once who told me, it's similar to writing. He would say, go write your terrible first draft and then sleep on it. he would say, you know how a delicious like chili or stew tastes better the next day? And he's like, let your thoughts marinate overnight. And I feel that in business as well, especially when you attend something that you might go, oh, this isn't for me. Well, maybe it's not for me right now, but let it simmer overnight. And it's going to have its time, but let it work itself out in my brain.
Yeah, I think it's important to, if we have an idea, to somewhat explore it, maybe let it simmer, but because it's so easy to be like, I don't know how to do that. Let's not do that. But by doing the export program, we learned that there's somebody for every aspect of that. So like, we don't have to know how to do it.
Yeah. Yes.
We just need to make our caramels, do what we're doing, and we can get help. Like, we can't be scared to ask for help. And there is somebody in every different department through the export program, through the government of Canada, through everything. There is somebody that knows it. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't have to Google everything and teach ourselves everything. So it's just like, okay, we don't know how to do this, but let's kind of put it out there and we'll see where it takes us, because we can find help.
Yeah.
Dare I say that you don't have to know everything. You just need to know how to ask.
Yeah.
Because other people know it.
Yeah.
Other people know. I worked with a coach. Her name is Jenny Mustafa Julak, and she would always say, the opposite of I can't isn't I can. The opposite of I can't is I will figure it out. And figuring it out is often asking for help. Somebody somewhere is an expert in this tiny little thing. So put your energy into asking instead of trying to learn that tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
I really felt that last year with the packaging. Like, none of us know how to.
Die line.
So like, I spent time Googling. I get Googling, like, what is the lingo? What is the process? What do you need to do? And then we found an amazing graphic designer, and we got hooked up with an amazing packager, and just learning the different processes, but they're professionals in that. Mm-hmm. So getting their help and to follow it through is, you don't have to know it all.
Yeah.
So it's,
just have to know who to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Now, I have the advantage. I have known all of you in some form, pre-salted and with salted, for 5 years, which is wild and exciting. I know that you are community-minded folks. How do you suggest that business owners get more involved in the region if they find themselves on the outside of that or not sure how to break into being more involved in the community?
I would say step one would be to contact Flagstaff Crafted. Mm-hmm. They have been incremental in our growth since the inception of Salted, and they offer such a magnitude of courses, professional development, markets,
the gift guide, the co-op marketplace. Yeah. There's something for every type of business that will support you in some capacity.
And, great.
No, or if you have questions, they can answer your questions as well.
Yeah. And there's so many opportunities, and take what works for you, what you can fit, and the other ones might not work as well, but there's always something being suggested or something being offered. Mm-hmm. So there's ample opportunity to hop on board and put yourself out there.
I want to know, what are you most excited about in your business right now? I mean, last year, Kristy quit her job. You bought a wrapping machine and you're wrapping 4,000 caramels a day. So last year was pretty big. What are you most excited about now?
I think for me, we're working on a Christmas offering.
Yes.
That I think will be exciting. So I'm excited about that.
I think that's what I'm most excited about too. When I think about the big picture, I'm really excited for, something new and fun for the holiday season.
Yeah.
I guess we've gotten a lot of opportunities to travel together.
Yes.
Because of Salted, we've been to Toronto, we've been to Kelowna. So and they haven't always been planned way in advance. So I'm waiting for our next big, big trip that we can take together to just talk about our brand and just get in the hands of more people.
I think we're just we all feel at our core that exciting things are happening. The momentum right now is great. Yeah. It just, everything is kind of being put into place, and there's just, I don't know, the vibes are good.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Is there a dream store or boutique or retailer that you're like, our dreams would come true if we were in X?
I would think looking for retailers, we have some amazing retailers in Alberta and BC, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, but now pushing the borders a little.
Yeah, there's some big centers we're not in yet. Vancouver, Toronto, the Maritimes. We're not in the GTA in Toronto yet. We're in a few places in Ontario.
We have the most amazing retailers already. Like we have some incredible people that we work with, whether they're from the city or they're from a small town. They support us so well. So it's hard to top that. Yeah. But I guess if we're dreaming big and, something that would be pretty cool, I think, would be in the Cross in Vancouver. The store there, the aesthetic, just that'd be a highlight.
Well, let's put a date on it. Figure out who we have to ask. I can't wait to see you in more big centers across Canada. You have built a really incredible business, and I think it is such a testament to your willingness to use the resources that are at your disposal to ask hard questions, even when you don't know who's got the answer. And it is just such a bright spot to be able to speak to the three of you today. So thank you so much for coming. I'm going to ask you the question we ask every single guest, which is, what does rural unrecognized mean to you?
Well, I sat on this one for a little bit, and it just, having come from a small town, I was always anxious to get out, to do the big things outside of where I grew up. And now having moved home and done this business with these amazing ladies, just for people to realize there's such great resources and great opportunities that can happen in rural communities. Mm-hmm. It's not just farming. It's not just don't set your limitations just because you're rural.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Mic drop. Yeah, that is perfect. I completely agree.
Yeah, geography does not have to define what you do in your business or the direction that you take. And I feel like I learn that lesson every single time I record an episode. And it is truly a pleasure to see what you have been able to build in 4 years. And I can't wait to see what's next for 2025. Thank you so much for being here. Team Salted, it is absolutely incredible. I want to make sure everybody who's listening to this can find you. Where's the best place to find you online?
Shopsalted.ca.
Brilliant. And we can order directly through you there. I am currently eyeing the caramels with mini eggs in them. They look incredible. Congratulations on everything you've done. Can't wait to keep watching you.
Thanks, Amanda.
I have talked to the team from Salted multiple times. I've met them in one-on-ones, in professional development. And every time I talk to them, I am blown away by how these three women have built their business and how they continue to grow in really instrumental ways. So hearing them talk about what 2024 was like, from quitting jobs to this now famous wrapping machine, I can't wait to see what's next. I think that they have done a beautiful job of really illustrating what is possible regardless of where you live. This was a brilliant conversation for anybody who is looking to go big. And it doesn't matter where you live. There are so many possibilities. So I hope that in listening to this today, you can feel inspired to think about what you could make happen and what the big moves might look like for you, and then start asking for more. Because like these three beautifully said, you don't have to know the answer to everything. You just need to know how to ask. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Rural Unrecognized. Be sure to follow the podcast. And if you like the show, leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice so that more people can find our show and join us for more stories. If you're interested in learning more about Flagstaff County, please visit flagstaff.ab.ca. We'll be back next month with a brand new episode and a new story for you to engage with. And in the meantime, consider for yourself, what does it mean to reimagine rural?